Good morning, everyone. Um, Beautiful Thursday morning. A little chilly out there, but we are alive. We've lived to see this day, so we are blessed. And I just want to come to you to give you a word of encouragement. Encouragement is needed in this day and time. So many people are fighting battles that we do not know about. With this pandemic going on, such sickness and such confusion and fear. Um, it people need encouraging, and it is so important that when you have the chance to lift someone up, do it. Say a kind word, a smile. Anything can change their course of direction. You'll never know. You may never know what it does, but any little act of kindness, and it can literally be a hello or a smile or how are you, can change someone's mindset and let them see hope once again. And that's what we need, is hope in this world. That was just a little tidbit extra. Let me get down to our Bible study. We're talking about Acres of Diamonds, and we've been talking about the wells that we need to dig to see the acres of diamonds in our life. And last time we talked about the well of sacrifice. And today we're actually going to be talking about two wells, the well of discipline and the well of quality time. So hopefully you can get a few tidbits of knowledge nuggets out of these that can help you continue on in this life. And remember, God does not want you just to survive and barely get by. He come that you might have life abundantly. But you got to believe it, and you've got to live it. But let's talk about that well of discipline first. It's all in our nature. We have a sinful nature. That's why, God, He died on the cross for our sins so that we could be saved. So, with our children, it's natural a lot of times for them, to talk back or be disobedient. But the only thing that will, stop that child from spiraling down is a parent's belief and enforcement of the discipline in the home. Every parent has, their own parenting philosophy. Parenting does not come with a book. You ask for God's guidance, you do the best you can, and you love that child. Every family dynamic is unique. We have children that live in single parent homes. Some spend days and weeks with, one parent, 1 week, and the other parent the next week. We have blended families. Whatever the situation and style for raising your child, discipline has to be essential in your house. What you do when they are young sets the stage for when they grow up. You have to train them to be obedient. You have to train them to listen. You have to train them to solve problems on their own. You have to train them to serve others. You have to train them to be kind and encouraging. You have to train them to be respectful. Redig that well of discipline in your home. Your kids, they may be older, and maybe you felt short in this area, when they were younger. And you may not be able to make up for that lost time. But you can start today to set the right example and let them see you live that life that teaches them the right ways. If you just let a child do whatever he wants and you try to be their friend only and never have discipline, you'll see how that works. You have to have some type of discipline and correction, just like God, the Holy Spirit, corrects us as Christians when we're wrong. He's our Father. He loves us and He's doing it for our good. And you're doing the same with your children. And then we have the well of quality time. In order for discipline to be effective, you must nurture your relationship with your family. It is so important to spend time with your family. You know, I know we have very busy lives. We have our own thing going. But you will regret if you lose someone and you didn't know them. You didn't spend the time with them. I mean, it truly is, I can't emphasize how important it is. You know, as much time as I spent with Mama and Daddy, and I will never regret that. I did spend a lot of time with Mama and Daddy. I wished I had more. I wish I'd spent more time with them, you know, and I want to do that, you know, with my family, with my children, and with my siblings, with my grandparents. I want to spend more time with them. One, to know their life, what they're going through, how they are, what their struggles are, and what their joys are. You know, you can't know them if you don't ever speak to them or if you don't ever spend time with them. And it just enriches your life so much more. So make time. You know, have them to dinner every once in a while at your home, or, you know, play a game, just anything, just to spend some time with them. But families, they need to have fun together. Take vacations, go on day trips, take a ride to the local ice cream shop. You know, like I say, have a movie or game night at home. But if you're a parent, you know, it can be overwhelming, life, you know, at home. Sometimes you have to ditch the norm and take a break together with your family. Let them see your fun side. You know, I know with me, I am constantly, my husband says I never sit down and take a break. I'm either cleaning, whether it be laundry, dishes, or trying to decorate my house. You know, I'm always doing something, and I have to learn, because family is important to me, to just stop and say, okay, let's do this together, or, you know, let's go do this together. And, you know, you have to let them see that fun side of you, that human side of you. And sometimes it don't go well. Sometimes you see this, you know, let's go somewhere and do something, and you, get so excited about it. Sometimes it's an epic fail. But you can laugh about it, and but you'll be together, and it'll be an epic fail together. Sometimes that's just about all you can do. But laughing is good. It's medicine for the soul. I remember years ago, this is talking about the Jensen, the author. He said when his kids were little, we had to get up at 6 in the morning to take their oldest child to a soccer tournament. Y'all all know, if y'all have kids with extracurricular activities, whew, sometimes early morning, late evening practices, yeah. She played and we watched. Driving back, every one of our 5 kids bickered and whined the entire time. She touched me. He took my toy. No, it's mine. I'm hungry. Stop looking at me. Well, that evening, they went to a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. The same thing happened in the car. Whining, fighting. He said him and his wife would draw a lot of imaginary lines. You stay on this side, you stay on this side. Boy, I have drawn the imaginary lines between my 2, Sophie and Bailey, when they were younger. Over and over, we would say, if you do that one more time, we're going to, and then they would, mention whatever they were going to do. Now, this chaos wasn't out of the ordinary, but he had gotten up very early that morning and he was very tired. So he was kind of on edge. We can all relate to that sometimes. When they went to the party at Chuck E. Cheese, you know, Chuck E. Cheese is always packed. It was loud, a lot of kids running around. 2+ hours of watching these little kids scream and run around like rabbits. Well, toward the end, two of the youngest kids, they were about to have a meltdown. They were very tired themselves. We left him alone, not after that, to avoid this meltdown. He wanted to go home. He was ready for bed. He was just ready to say this day is over. Well, on the ride home, here comes the whining and the fighting again between the 5 kids. This time they was bickering over those little prizes that you get at Chuck E. Cheese at the end of the party. Then, out of nowhere, someone suggested ice cream. They just had to have it. And I happened to say, okay. A few minutes later, every child, they were buckled in their seatbelt and they had their ice cream cone. They were finally headed home. And he remembers stopping at a red light, an extremely long red light. I glanced into the rearview mirror and noticed one of the kids, my son, holding the cone. And it was just the cone. There was no ice cream scoops on top of the cone. It was all over his face, his shirt, his lap, the seat, the side of the car. It was everywhere. He didn't seem to care, but Father seemed to care. We didn't have any napkins or anything that could clean up the mess. We were still stopped at the red light, and I started yelling. My wife started yelling. And then my son joined in with the yelling. I rolled down the window and I yelled, just throw it out. Throw out the ice cream cone. When he threw it out the window, the driver of the car behind me started honking his horn and yelling, litter bug, litter bug. He didn't do it one time, he kept doing it over and over again. This next moment, he says, I'm not very proud of, but I snapped. And I yelled at him through the open window. It was not one of my proudest moments. When I pulled my head back in the car, I was shocked by what I heard. Silence. Deafening silence. There was no crying, no whining. All the little people in the car sat up straight like obedient little soldiers, eyes wide, mouths shut. Then a little person's voice piped up from the back seat. Oh, Daddy. This was his little daughter. You're in trouble. I'm going to tell Miss Maggie on you. Maggie was one of her friends in church. The two of them had a knack of spreading news like wildfire. I didn't say anything. No one else did either. Then almost in unison, they all busted out in laughter. They laughed so hard that tears started rolling down their face. Now, no, that probably was not the best moment, but it's important to laugh with your kids. Be there for them. Show up to their games. Show up to their plays, their dance recitals. Take your children out, like on little date nights. Read with them, pray with them before they go to bed. Just get out and have fun with your family and spend time with them, because there's nothing like it, and you cannot get that time back. And if you haven't been doing it in the past, today is a great day. You don't have to do anything extravagant. Find you a Monopoly game or a little card game of Uno, and just stop for a few minutes, and just sit down at the table and spend time with them. They may think it's strange if you have not been doing it, but you make a pattern of it. They will love it. They will love you for it, and you will love it. because you can never get that time back. And if you make those memories and that time together now, you'll always have that with you, always. Family is very important. I love y'all so much. I hope y'all have a fantastic day. I'm headed into the office today, and I'm very thankful for a job, during this time. But y'all be careful. Some of these roads are still a little slick from the temperatures being kind of low, and it might be a little ice patch. So y'all, drive a little slower today. Watch out for others, and be kind to someone today. Let them be lifted up through you. Let them see Jesus through you. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.